everybody's Doc Green, the Road Scholar, coming back at you. I know, I need a haircut. Probably get one tomorrow. But anyway, I want to do this quick video. I found a way to let y'all see how much I'm getting paid without showing my actual statements, because it's got some personal information on there and stuff I kind of never want to let people see. But what I did is I took a screenshot of the statement, the overview of how much I got paid and everything for the last 7 days. And I'm going to post that up out right here. Okay, hope y'all seen that. I'll post it again at the end of the video just in case it doesn't get in there right. But anyway, the reason I'm posting this is because some people are, well, I had a couple of drivers who think that I am exaggerating how much I get paid per week. Now, not to say they're being buttholes or anything like that. That's not what I'm saying, because these guys are really, each one of them that told me that said they're really a fan of my show and everything, or my videos, but they think I'm not telling the truth on how much I'm making. So I went ahead and did this video. I'm going to post the last 7 days so people can see. And I could roll a 7-day thing. I'll probably do another one next week, maybe one in the middle of the week, to show that this wasn't just a fluke thing, but also to show that you have to know how much money you're spending per mile to be able to calculate if you should take a run or not on the dark lease. Right now, I'm taking runs that are paying anywhere from $2.05 to about $2.35 a mile. Dart does not get upset with you if you turn down a load. I know a lot of people go, I'm afraid to turn down a load because, dispatchers get mad. The fleet manager and the planners are two different things. The planners are just trying to get loads going to keep you running and everything, but if it's not paying you, it doesn't do any good to run them. So, oh, my eyes are bloodshot, I'm tired. But anyway, so the reason I keep telling you to calculate up how much money you're making per mile is, if you don't know, and so far I've talked to about 7 drivers in the last 48 hours have called me and everything, because they're trying to, they don't know why they're not making any money. Some of them switch back to mileage, some of them are on percentage, but they're taking loads that are only paying like $1.80 a mile and $1.70 a mile, and they can't figure out why they're not making any money. So the first question I asked them is, how much money are you spending per mile to run your truck? And they go, oh, I'm spending about this much. They tell me, but it's their fuel cost. That's not the cost of per mile. And I explained this in my other video, how to calculate up your cost per mile. You can go back and watch that one if you haven't seen it. But if you do not know how much you're paying per mile, like last week when I did the first video, I was like at, I can't remember what I was, or a couple of weeks ago I did a video. I think I was like at 92 cents a mile. Right now, it's costing me about $1.08 a mile because the price of fuel went up. So you need to know that, though, because every time this price of fuel goes up, you need to recalculate to figure out how much money you're spending per mile that you're going to be driving. So if you're doing, like, let's just do an easy number. I'm just going to do an easy number just to make it simple, okay? It's not the price of fuel out here. Let's say you're paying $5.50 for fuel and you're driving 550 miles, and you're paying $1 a mile for fuel. But that's not all you have to add in. You also have to add in your lease, payments. You add all this. Go back to the other video and see how to calculate how much you're spending per mile. But once you know that, then you know if you can take a load or not. Now, a lot of us are taking loads just to get a load and get it running. I'm going to show another picture here in just a second. Actually, we'll show both pictures together of how much I made in the last 7 days, and I'm going to show you how many hours I worked on my 8-day graph. So y'all can see, I'm only driving, I think there was 2 days I drove 11 hours, or 10 and a half hours, almost 11 hours. The rest of the days I've only driven about 7 and a half hours. I'm not killing myself out here to make this money. I'm taking those that are paying more money. I may be doing less miles, but if you average it out at the end of the day, I'm still making $450 a day. And I know some people say, oh, you're not really making that much. That's the reason I put the sheet on there so you can see. And by the way, I'm on a load right now that's paying $2.35 a mile. By the time I'm done, it will be about, by the time I'm done with my fuel and everything, I'll be making about, oh, you know what though? I am going to take a 34-hour break because I haven't had a day off in a while, as you'll see by looking at my 8-day sheet. But by the time I'm done, even with my 34-hour break and paying the lease on it and everything, I'll still be cleared about $500 out of that one. And I'll start over again and start running a new 7-day week to show you how much money you can make out here. But it doesn't matter how many miles you're driving or what they're telling you or anything. If you see a load and it looks good, oh, it's paying almost $2 a mile, I'm taking it, boom. But if you're paying $5.15, $5.20 a gallon, you're losing. I won't say you're losing, you're not losing, but you're not making what I'm telling you can make. You're not making the numbers I'm making, which is about anywhere from $2,200 to $2,500 a week. You're just not going to do it if you're running $1.80, $1.90 a mile when the fuel's costing you $5.15, $5.20 a gallon. And nothing. If you're with DART, use their fuel routing. You're getting 30, 40 cents a gallon off of fuel when you use their routing system. Now, a lot of guys are going, well, you know, I can use this other stop, and I still save like 20, 25 cents a gallon. Yeah, but that other 20, 25 cents a gallon makes a huge difference at the end of the week. So when you're running and you're only making $1,800, $1,900 a week, and you go, what happened? I'm not going to figure it out. That's where that extra little bit of change helps when you use their fuel routing. So do that. When you're down south and you know you're going up north, fill your tank up down south. You know fuel's cheaper down there. Try to get up north. Like usually I get back up north. When I say south, I don't really go that far south, but when I do go up north and I know it's way more expensive up here, I will fill my tank up down there. I will spend my whole paycheck. If you look at one of my paychecks, it says 0 out. I got no money that day because I filled up down there so I could drive up north, drop my load, pick up another load, and get back down to the cheap fuel before I had to start, or cheaper fuel. Nothing's cheap right now. Cheaper fuel before I had to get more fuel again. I'm willing to sacrifice a check to save literally a couple $100. You know, so you know that's the way I run it. You run it the way you want to. I've tried to talk to a few drivers and everything. The ones I've talked to that we ran the numbers together and everything, they're getting it, they're understanding, and now they're going to try to do it this way instead of the old way or their way or their fleet manager's way or something like that. I don't know who's telling them to do it or if they decided on their own or anything, but when they're not making it, we have to analyze what is the problem, how many miles you're running, and I go through a few questions. But the very first question is, how much are you spending per mile? If you don't know that they can't answer me that, then we need to stop right there and figure it out, because the rest of it does not matter if you don't know how much money you're spending per mile. So that's my advice. Again, I'm going to post a picture of my pay sheet, my settlement summary, and my hours so you see what I drive, and hopefully that can convince some of y'all that you can make money out here. You can do decent, you know. And here's the thing, I'm not one of the top earners at DART by no means, not even close, you know, but I do make enough money. Like if you see, well, I might even show you one of the bottom of one of my summary sheets so you can see so far this year I've already made $90,000 take home, or 89.7 something. It should be 90,000 today. I'll check, but I'll put a picture of the bottom of that statement, my last statement, so you see what I'm at year to date. Anyway, guys, I hope this video's helped. Don't forget, hit subscribe, hit like. If you do decide to call DART and talk to the lease personnel and everything, hopefully I'm going to try this. I haven't done it in a while. Give them my driver number, 86187. I'm going to try to get one of those things to scroll along the bottom if I figure out how to do it. And let them know that Doc Green recommended them and everything. At least call them and talk to them. You know what I'm saying? And I did talk to DART today, and I tried to explain to them that one of the things I think it would help a lot of trucking companies if during orientation on these lease programs, they would give drivers instructions on how to figure out how much money they're spending per mile. All that averaging out things and everything that they're worried about doesn't really help you, again, unless you know how much you're spending per mile. I talked to them. I'm going to see if I can work with them and develop a course that we could add into our what do you call it? In processing, good God, orientation. And I think that would help a lot of drivers. I think it would help a lot of retention on these companies too, because if they keep telling you to average out your cost per week and then the cost this, that, and the other, that changes constantly. So unless you know how much you need to make, how much you're making per mile, how much you're spending per mile, the rest of it doesn't matter. And try to figure it all out at the end of the week doesn't help, because you get one day fuel here, one day fuel there, next day your fuel may go into the next week's. You may took a day off this week. That per week thing doesn't work. Per mile. That's how we get paid. Per mile. So that's how much you need to know is how much you make per mile, how much you spend per mile. Anyway, guys, I'm out. I'm going to go ahead and try to, I hope this helps. If you have any questions, leave a comment below. You can also text me at 469-668-1986. I try to return all calls and texts. If I don't answer or anything, or answer my text, it probably means I'm asleep. Got my phone on Do Not Disturb. But as soon as I wake up, I will hit you back up. All right, guys. Thank you. Again, hit subscribe, hit share, because some of you guys know other truckers that may need this information. Because any trucker, if you ask any trucker out here, you know, that y'all are talking around the yards and stuff, and everyone's complaining and hollering and upset and everything, and you ask them, how much do you spend per mile? And if they tell you, if they average it anywhere below 50 or anything above 50, 60 cents or something, or if they average it, below 50, 60 cents or 70 cents, I'm going to say below 80 cents right now, they don't know. And they don't know because they're not checking. And 90% of the drivers that I've talked to, actually larger than that, probably about 95% of drivers I know that I talk to have no clue. It's not their fault. No one ever taught them about how much money they spend per mile. And if anyone's wondering how I figured that out and moved, and learned this, I actually worked for a company where the owner of the company sat me down, and that's how he figured out how much profit he makes, by how much each truck costs him per driver per mile. And I mean, he went down to fuel, tires, maintenance, everything, just like you can do. And when he showed me that, he says, if you don't learn this, you'll never be a truck business owner, a trucking company owner. So anyway, I learned it. I've used it ever since then, and that's why I'm doing what I'm doing. And that's the reason I can show the numbers I'm showing. And some people are going to get upset with me about it and say I'm lying and I make that up and everything. I don't know how else to show you. Really don't. I'm not comfortable showing my entire stuff. I'll try it. I'll try to show you. But I'll try it. I'll add those on the end of here so you can see those actual pay statements and see what I ran, what I made, what I paid. And y'all can see I'm not making it up. I really am making this kind of money. You can make this kind of money. If you're already with Dart and you're not making this kind of money, it's easy to figure it out and change it and get back into the plus. And here's the thing, there'll be some Dart operators on here that are making more than me. And I know, before we get into it, let me go ahead and tell all the guys who don't work here and all the owner operators that are making $10 million a mile, I don't care. I don't need to hear in the comments talking about it. That's all you're making and you're dying and you're this and you're that. I don't care to hear it. I really don't. All I'm going to do is delete it off there. Don't need the negativity. So I'm glad you're making $10 million a mile. Proud of you. Keep trucking, trucker. Don't be starting on here with all that negative crap. And I know I've said this in a lot of my videos lately because, man, y'all be amazed at how many truck drivers are out here that are making way more than me, and then you talk to them a few months later and that company screwed them and now they're over somewhere else. Anyway, I'm out. Y'all have a good one.